A true Atari classic has returned, and in today's video I'm taking a look at the new game Black Widow Recharged. Atari has been taking some of their classic IPs and making new versions of them. They did it with Missile Command, they did it with Centipede, and now they're taking Black Widow, which is an awesome twin stick shooter from 1982, and kind of re-imaging it for a modern audience and being released on everything: Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Steam, Switch, Epic Game Store, and even the Atari VCS. I was sent a Switch review code and I'm looking at that version, and I want you to sit back, relax. You may want to grab some popcorn. Here we go. I've been following the information released about Black Widow. Really excited that they're doing this. There is co-op, local co-op, and so I really like that feature. I'm not going to focus on that in this review. I'm going to focus on single player as my son's not awake to be the second player. Lots of different achievements that you can get by playing this game. I really like that. It kind of adds an additional aspect to keep on playing over and over again. Here's some different control settings. You're going to find something that works for you. I am using a Switch Controller Pro, as I think this is one of the better ways of playing it. I'm a twin stick shooter fan for life. Also, there's these challenges which add some variety to the game. That's one thing about this game that some people may not like. There's only one life and there's no waves. It just keeps coming at you over and over again. I don't mind it. I do kind of wish it did have the waves of the original release, but here it is. Control is great. You use one analog stick to move your spider around, with the other one aiming the direction of your shots. You can pick up these dollar signs and it charges up a web that you can launch out, as well as there's different power-ups that you can get by destroying certain creatures. It's got a really rockin' soundtrack. I really like the music and special effects. This is just a great adaptation of a classic arcade game brought into a modern era, and I really like what they did here. So that's one of my first games playing this. I can do better than that. Here we go. I'm going to show you another game, and then I'm going to show you some challenges. I have kind of a pinched nerve in my left hand, and so it's making it difficult to play. I'm not using it as an excuse, just I know that I can play this game better than I did that first game. All right, so as you progress, there's different insects that appear that have different abilities. One thing about having a single life is it really ups the intensity, and so you really have to watch out as things can spawn really close to you. That's the big challenge with this game. Like any twin stick shooter, is things can get really overwhelming very fast. I don't mind that too. You know, I'm a huge fan of twin stick shooters, as many of you know. Robotron 2084 is one of my favorite games of all time. So anytime that I can get a new twin stick shooter, especially one in the same vein of a classic Atari game, sign me up. I really like what they've done here. I think the additional power-ups kind of add some diversity to the gameplay mechanics. You know, and I like there's a level of like randomness to it as well, that it's going to keep people coming back to play again and again. And so, you know, there might be fans of the original Black Widow that only like the original, but I think this is a nice evolution of an Atari classic. And what I like about Atari is they're taking some of their most familiar classic IPs and re-imaging them for a modern era, and I think this is well done. I really like the music. I really like the gameplay. It's fast and furious, and I think there's going to be many fans, especially fans of those classic Atari games, are going to feel right at home. Having a pretty good game here, and definitely want to play this again and again and to get better at it. But there it is, and then so you can have your score and compare it to other people that have played it local and online. I love that, as I know there's some people out there that are very competitive with their gaming, and they're going to want to pursue that. Here are the challenges. and I really like that they've added these. They also offer these on Centipede Recharged as well. That's a recent video I did. If you're a fan of the Centipede series, then they also did this type of game for Centipede and Missile Command. And so I really think that this is a good direction for Atari. I want to see them do more of these. If there's one little minor thing I would want them to add to this series, it would be maybe to unlock the original or have waves. You know, I'm a big fan of Robotron and even the original Black Widow, and those waves kind of give you a break from the intensity. And so not having that break makes this even more challenging to play. But, you know, for many, it's not going to matter. I really like the power-ups, too. There's different random power-ups you can get from insects. And so it definitely is taking a nod from the original and stepping it up. Challenge completed, and once you unlock it, you can also play a challenge over and over again to see if you can get a better time. I really like that. That's pretty sweet aspect, as, you know, it gets that replayability going on. Here's another challenge. And, you know, each challenge has its own set of rules. You have to kill so many bugs. You have to survive for so long. I really like this. It makes you a better gamer and player of this game by going through the challenges. It is a very intense game. If you like twin stick shooters and maybe you're a fan of a game such as Geometry Wars, you know, that's kind of a more modern take. But I love this game and I love what they've done. And so, yes, graphics definitely has that 80s neon kind of look. It's a good fit for Black Widow, and especially being released near Halloween, what a treat. And so definitely, if you're a fan of the original Black Widow, you definitely need to play this. And if not, check it out, because this is one of Atari's better games that you may have not heard of. It definitely was kind of a B-tier arcade release. It did rather well. I do believe it was a conversion of Gravatar in '82, but, you know, I like what they've done here. Challenge completed. Here's another challenge. You know, every challenge has its own unique set of rules. Just wanted to show just a few of these. Overall, I'm loving it. You know, not every day you get a twin stick shooter, especially kind of in the classic Atari vein. So, you know, having this released, what a perfect time to release a game like this too. You know, definitely what a great tie-in to Halloween. And so this is coming out October 28th, midnight, I do believe. Some challenges are you have to reach a certain score, and they set up a multitude of different enemies. If you notice the web, there's parts of the web that are highlighted white or yellow or whatever you want to call that. Those you have to avoid. They're like barriers, and so eventually they'll dissipate and you'll have to move around them, which adds another aspect of gameplay, which is welcome. And so, yes, using your web special shot, which you have to save up and launch at an enemy, is super important. You only want to use it when you need it. Another challenge completed. I want to show you a couple of the other challenges. At least try one more. I'm going to go ahead and try to complete this challenge of killing 45 hornets. Hornets are intense. They drop these like sacks, and you have to take them and move them off the web. It is a very, very, very challenging aspect of that insect. Some of the challenges get fairly intense fast. It's going to take replaying them over and over again to pass them. I like that because it makes you a better gamer. So what do I think of it? I think it's the best of the Recharge series so far. I do think it's scary good. Is it perfect? No. There's a couple things I would want them to incorporate with these games. I do miss the waves of the classic Black Widow. It would have been nice to have some background history of the arcade classic. Even including a ROM of the arcade classic would have been a nice bonus, especially if like maybe unlocking all the achievements. But overall, for 10 bucks, this is a great game, and this is a great direction for Atari. Keep them coming. I think next up is Asteroids, and so I'm really looking forward to the other classics that Atari is going to be releasing. I think the best thing that they're doing is releasing these games everywhere so that many people can enjoy these. I know there's several people that grew up with Atari, especially the arcade Atari games, and I think if you're a fan of those games, you're gonna love this, and it's a treat. So, what did you think? Comment below, and as always, thank you for visiting my channel. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you have a great day.